Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Welcome to First Touch. We're back here Monday, February 22nd. And, it looks a little bit different. I think it's about to sound different for sure. We got Roll This, T-Bates here, gentlemen. How y'all doing?
Hold on, let me start off by you see this? You see this real quick? Gotta get the little DeMar action real quick. His mic sounding crisp. T-Base, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm sounding good. I'm feeling good. This is the first show for me and DeMar pro after birthdays, or one's 25, one's 22, just in
True.
case anybody didn't know about that. We're gonna be sounding nice from now on. Thanks to the Babber and Williams. So yeah, we're moving up in the world over here on First Touch.
That's facts. So, this is a good day. This is straight out of, we were coming from the European major that ended up happening last week. And there was a lot of stuff that ended up going on in the weekend. We're going to jump into that. I got to move Roll Diz's camera a little bit. This is why they don't want me doing production stuff, because now I gotta move some stuff around in the meantime.
Let me know how I need to adjust.
Okay, you're doing too much already. You see what I'm saying?
I'm trying to move.
Thanks.
I'm trying to help you out. Look,
Okay,
I think I sent it myself.
Actually,
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, what's up, man? I'm doing too much.
Okay. Now let's see. Let's get started by actually talking about what ended up going on last weekend. So as you guys know, we had the EU major that ended up happening. Unfortunately, the dream did not come true for Tyler or Stumpy. Dignitas did not win. They made it pretty close though. They made it to third place. They did make it to third. They faced BDS in the winners final. BDS beat Vitality to get there in a 7-game set, and then they ended up beating Dig 4-1. They dropped to lowers 1-7 against Vitality. Vitality beat them, then 1-7 against BDS and lost it. They couldn't force a bracket reset. Tyler, I know this wasn't the outcome you expected, but are you satisfied with the third place on Dig?
Yeah, I could be satisfied with Dig in third.
Satisfied?
I
What?
could be satisfied with Dig in third. You see. When I said that Dig was going to win this major, I also said that they might not be ready yet, but they on the come up. And I expected them to perform this weekend at the very minimum. And they did perform. They still have little bumps in the road, little hiccups, especially in that BDS series, the first one. The one and only up top in the winners finals, where they would commit for no reason when BDS is clearly very dangerous at counterattacking. They would just feed BDS free goals. So I mean, it happens. It's growing pains. They got a young team with 15, 16-year-olds with the captain and Panda. So my prediction of Dignitas being the best team coming out of EU by the time Worlds happens is it's on track. It's coming slowly. Because people forget they lost to Vitality in 7, and we would have had a BDS rematch. If that game just flips. So just give them about 2-3 more months, and they'll be the best team in the EU. Trust me, it's getting there. Base ain't never wrong, and it ain't gonna be wrong right here either.
Bro, you was just wrong this last weekend. How you gonna say you was never wrong? You said they were gonna win.
See, that's what you're missing, Raul. Because I clearly just said, I had a main point and a side point. I said Dignitas are gonna win.
Have one point, bro.
If they won't, see where I come from. We always gotta hit it from multiple angles.
Bro, this man loving this mic too much, bro. Like, loving that mic, bro.
Holding it when he talk.
Yeah, you gotta come at different angles.
Man, don't hit on the mic now. Hey, when you sound good, you play good, and you look good. Oh my gosh. Hey, kudos to both of you too. But yeah, Dignitas is I'm not too mad at it. What y'all think about it?
I mean, all I gotta say is, one, you were wrong. They didn't win. I don't know how Stumpy let you convince him to take your side with it.
Greatness speaks. Yeah, he got convinced. Ain't nothing wrong with that. When greatness talks, you gotta listen.
Yeah, and you fell, and he fell with you. It's as simple as that. Hey. I predicted correctly. BDS winning. I predicted correctly. Dignitas would make it far, and you just can't count K-Dop out. So,
K-Dop.
Yeah.
You want to bring up K-Dop of all people? Bring up K-Dop tossing in game 7 OT when he see this is what I was talking about the clips. Cause let me break it down for you. I don't know people in the chat if y'all
have the clip, because if you have it, I could try to show it.
Just go to whatever Rocket League Esports tweeted out when Extra hit the shot. It shows the full entire play. K-Dop's gonna move all the way down the field when I believe Alpha 54 tries to shoot. It gets blocked by Expert. Then K-Dot rotates sideline, left sideline, all the way back, grabs the back 100. He's first man up. Then he drives up to the ball and turns around from it. Doesn't challenge. Then he just slowly parks into the net.
Real quick.
Yeah, where Extra literally shoots the champ 2 shot right at him. And you know what K-Dot does? Oh no! And then he backflips. Like, what the heck? You don't bring up K-Dot. Don't bring him up.
You're gonna talk about one play. You're gonna talk about one play.
It was a big play.
It might have been the most critical play.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna talk about how they could have ended the series earlier.
I mean, sure, they could have. It's a 3-1. Yeah, just show they got chokeritis and they're scared of them. They ain't got the... Because they also lost 3-1. They lost a 3-1 lead in the grid.
Yeah, so who... Wait, before you continue, remind me who your boys lost to. Who your boy Dignitas lost to?
They lost to BDS. But there's a difference, though. Vitality is a season team.
No. Who they lose to in losers?
Vitality.
What's up?
Once again, Vitality is a season team. Dignitas just started up.
Man, you guys.
Vitality supposed to be there, but they ain't there. They just ain't there. They're just right now. I'll put them as second best team for now, but they won't be second best team for much longer. Dignitas about to pass them up soon enough, and that's just the facts of the matter. And don't get me started on a BDS team, but that's a different topic, I believe.
BDS is a different topic.
Yeah, BDS is a completely different topic. That's a little bit later on. What you got to say about Dignitas, brother?
I think Dignitas, for me, I feel like overall, like, you know, they're in a really solid spot. Like, I think that they're definitely a lot better than, you know, what they were looking like at the beginning of the season. In terms of like what you're saying with like best team in Europe, nah, they definitely still need like more work for that. Like, I think they're chilling right now. They took 5th, which is really solid, especially when, you know, you had teams like Galaxy Racer that were also in that bracket who didn't really show up. Same for Endpoint.
Wait, who took 5th?
Dignitas did.
Oh, you're looking at the overall points. They took third.
Yeah, I'm looking at overall points. I'm talking about now in terms of like category for Worlds, they took 5th. But dang, you threw me off. But like you had other teams in that bracket that were higher up than them. Galaxy Racer, Endpoint. I think even Queso was in there, and they all knew. Yeah, Queso was in there with a bye, and Queso only won 2 games, and like Gil had a crazy run too. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you should also kind of keep an eye on Guild as well, because they showed up when they needed to. So I think for me now, what's like the big thing is looking at this bracket and looking at like, yes, sure, Dignitas could go 7 games with Vitality. Vitality are going 7 games consistently with BDS. Dignitas, I feel like, are pushing themselves into the conversation a little bit more, right? The win against Top Blokes is big. The win against Oxygen, not necessarily as big. Oxygen just had a really good weekend, and they ended up beating Giants. And Giants had a really bad weekend. And I guess the same can kind of be said too for Top Blokes as well, right? None of those teams got past losers quarterfinals. Freaking pretty much Giants first round they lost to Singularity. Well, they lost to Oxygen in uppers, then they lost Singularity in lowers. So for me, it was just like, okay, you know, if top teams are starting to kind of stagnate, well, this is perfect opportunity for Dig to kind of swoop in and take all those points. But the question is, it comes down to consistency, but not just consistency with Dignitas, consistency around the league, right? Giants, will they ever, like, you know, kind of step back up here? Because their position is kind of in threat too as well. They're not too far behind, I believe, Dignitas. If Giants have another bad regional in the spring, it can mess a lot of stuff up, especially with you know, with just like the fact that, you know, that first regional is going to be, you know, coming in immediately, and then you're going to have, you know, once things get started, you can kind of tell the direction of how things are going to go. That's why I'm saying, like, Spring Regional 1 is the one you should keep your eye on. But overall, I think Dignitas, yeah, they're on a rise for now, but we'll see how long they can hold on for sure. So it's kind of like a neutral answer in a way. I don't think Dignitas are going to be the best team in EU, but I do think that if other teams stop performing at a high level, then Dignitas is going to take their spots easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see Dignitas being like consistently like top 5 from now on. I just don't see them being the top dogs in EU.
It'll happen eventually. Trust me, it'll happen. and also to your points, DeMar, of Galaxy Racer, Endpoint, Team Queso, Giants, all these type of teams. As I said a couple weeks ago, I said 2 teams are gonna drop. I believe it was Galaxy Racer and Endpoint. out of top 6, and by the time Worlds happens, Dignitas and Oxygen are going to be in that talk. Grid put them. I mean, not Grid. Guild moved up to the 6th spot for now because they ended up beating Oxygen. But when you watch that series, if the people in the chat watch the series, I know you guys watch the series. Oxygen will lose off of counterattacks over aggressing. I know they lost one game. I think it was map 5 on Wasteland where it was clear that I think Devo might have had a clean touch, or it was Noli right off the back wall, but Farah still dove at it, and it was just a walk-in goal. And that's just the type of series that that series was, and that ultimately ended up with Oxygen losing. But Oxygen looked like the better team outside of that, so a little bit of cleanup there, and I believe that Oxygen will also be in that top 6 come Worlds. And I also think that Giants are cooling off and Top Loads are cooling off, but they might hold their spots just based off their sheer amount of points they have before this major and the spring coming up. But I do believe Oxygen's going to be in there as well, and I'm sticking with the Dignitas.
Okay. Top. Did you want to go over the play? Because I got the play if you want to.
What play? The
K-Dub one?
K-Dub one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What time in OT do you want me to start at for it?
You can start. Oh, there's like a clip.
Well, I have the whole. I just brought up the VOD.
Oh, I don't know a specific time, to be honest with you.
Okay, well,
it's whenever, it's right after Vitality almost score. Somebody comes in and super fast, and it gets saved by extra, and then it all breaks down. And it's just like such a BDS way of winning, which is why once we get to once we get to BDS, or if we move BDS up, to move that segment up, then I'll get to them as to why. What's that questions frame? That is.
Okay.
So have you found it yet?
Yeah, here I'm gonna pop it up for you guys too, so you can see it. Check Discord. Do you see it?
Yeah, we good.
Yeah,
you're both in there. Okay. Yeah. Kind of got me through this here.
All right. So let's see here. Okay, yeah. So Vitality about to come shoot in a couple seconds, I believe, because this OT don't last too long. Yeah. So K-Dop dives, right? Pause.
Oh crap! Oh, I didn't expect all that.
Okay. Yeah, this is a good place to pause. it. Can you see K-Dop on that left side right there? First off, BDS is the best counter-attacking team in the world, and I think it's because they capitalize off of EU's terrible counter-attack defense. You know, K-Dop is on that left side, right behind Mark by 8's blonde hair with the red headband.
Yeah.
And you see that boost? That back 100 is gonna be up. I keep playing it. So K-Dop will have 100 boosts by the time this ball reaches all the way back in the field. He snags the boost, then he should childish. But he doesn't. He lets Mark Bay throw it off the wall. K-Dub doesn't go backboard. He goes in the net late, then backflips and gives extra the easiest shot of his life. And it's just like a headache for me. He takes 200 boosts. He grabbed the back left.
Wait. Okay, so he did grab that, but you got to take into account Alpha is coming in behind him. So Alpha should compensate for K-Dub's mistake and go onto the backboard.
What? At least one of them should.
Yeah, Alpha should be on the backboard, basically.
Yeah, but K-Dub should have challenged the first one.
Yeah, so, no, 100%. I agree with you.
It's like K-Dub shouldn't let that happen. And Alpha should be backboard. Fairy Pete just dives at it. And it's just the easiest goal ever for BDS. And I'm just mind blown. This happens in game 7 of a European major. Oh. And then once this happens, people overhype this team to the point of, my goodness. Well, can we get to the BDS subject? I want to talk about BDS. Is that a possibility?
Yeah.
Can we get back to the spring one? All right, let me get on BDS for a second. Okay, everybody overrates them. As you can tell from that clip, chat, BDS did absolutely nothing that a rank A team couldn't do on that play. They blocked a shot from good offense by Vitality, and then a counterattack happened in which Vitality decided that they were going to figure out how to play Rocket League for about 5 to 10 seconds, in which BDS capitalized.
Hey, bro, that's all you need to do in this game.
I know.
All you need to do in this game.
At the highest level, it shouldn't be happening. In NA, it doesn't really happen that often. You're not gonna get a very easy, wide open shot like that to win an NA series unless they look. This is a very rare occurrence.
Yeah, you are.
Not in game 7. Not in game 7. Not like that.
There's been some sketchy game 7 winners.
It's gonna be a forced error. It's not gonna be like we're just gonna hand it to you error. And that's the majority of BDS's goals. If you watch BDS, they don't really they don't really have a clean offense. They don't really pass too often. It's a lot of counterattacks. It's a lot of big bangs down the field, and it's a lack of defense per se from the EU and then they capitalize on it. So you got to give kudos to them. But when you watch them play, they are just not heads and shoulders above everybody else. They are just winning in the region in which they're playing, which is no shame on them. You can only play the people that are in front of you. So their given hype per se is warranted, but to call them the best team in the world, especially after watching series prior where Dignitas would do the same thing, I just can't say that. There are just teams in NA that would not allow that. I would think of SSG, for example. You think SSG is going to have nobody back wall, first off, and then second off, they're going to have a person sideways in net that's late sideways when it should be there earlier. Like Arsenal, you replace Arsenal with K. Arsenal immediately challenges that ball. Can we not disagree with that? Is that like?
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that.
Okay, and then Alpha 54 plays him at Sypical. Is Sypical not going to go in the back wall?
100%.
Sypical is 100% on the back wall. So so right then and there, that easy goal that BDS gets isn't happening. And I think a lot of people, when they quantify if BDS is the best team and they debate about it over and over again, they just go off the record. You got to look into those type of plays, those type of instances within the game, and it shows you that the team that they're playing are just not as skilled and polished as NA teams. You can think of specific NA players. I just named two off of one specific team. I can go off of many teams that will legit shut that play down immediately. That's never happened, and you're going to have to earn it. And that's the point I'm trying to make here. BDS, they're a quality team, 2 majors in a row. No, 2 majors in a row, back to back, 4-time regional champions, but they're dominating a region in which there's a lack of defensive quality, defensive skill, and knowledge of field awareness, especially. And that's good for them. But put them in NA, and it's just not happening. And I'm not jumping off the boat, no matter how many majors they win. They can win 3 times in a row, and they're still gonna lose. And that's just the facts that matter. Just looking at the tape.
I mean,
man,
you go ahead,
ahead,
bro.
man.
Okay, I'll go.
Yeah, you go.
I feel like you just taking that one clip and like applying it to like the whole region in a way. Like it's a goal that happens in a game 7, and like for me, it's a bad play, and I do think that I think obviously they got punished for making a bad play like that, right? But Dignitas, like, this is 7 game sets they were able to take to BDS. BDS are quite literally they're just as able to lose that series as Vitality. It's not like a sweep or a stomp in any manner at all. It's not like Vitality is a bad team either, right? Like K-Dop is a really good player, and he kind of showed that. But at the same time, I do think if either him or someone else on Vitality plays just a little bit better, I think they take the series.
Correct. That's the point I'm making. And that's what I'm saying. If Vitality played a little bit better, they win. NA teams are going to play way better than Vitality plays, so BDS is going to lose. It's just that simple. NA teams are way more polished. There's even instances in the Dignitas series where it might have been it was whatever field they played this weekend. That was Manfield Night. I don't know what map that was. Might have been map 1. Dignitas worked early and scored, and then BDS scored by marked by 8, literally shooting from 3/4 of the field out. And I believe apparently Jack just didn't jump for it. I don't know exactly what he did, and he jumped like 5 minutes late, and it's just over his head. And I'm scratching my head. I'm like, there's just no way this is in. Apparently Jack is a great ones player, so like it's just like little instances and little falters in European defense that leads to these goals per se, and BDS capitalized on the best, and that's why they're winning the most out of that region.
I really hope Stumpy is listening, because he just kind of snapped on his favorites to win the worlds. BDS.
BDS?
I mean, we were going back and forth with them last week and kind of mentioning that NA is the superior region, especially at a top 6 level, the world's level, and they will take it to EU. And I mean, it could be us being biased in NA and just watching a lot more NA, but we just see more potential coming out of NA than we see in EU, especially when we're watching these silly goals go in. And I have to counter argument with UT base. There are dumb goals in NA that go in exactly like what you just saw from K-Dop, like someone not challenging and things like that. But definitely the more consistent teams at the top of the NA scene, they don't have those silly mistakes happen in crunch time, right? So I mean, it goes both ways. I think both regions definitely have silly mistakes always happening.
Oh, facts. NA has silly mistakes. I remember one time Envy beat NRG because Garrett decided that he wanted to be Justin 2.0 and tried to pop it up with the Fennec. Instead, he popped it left, and then Atomic said, "Here, I'll take it," and pass it right to Turbo, and Envy won because of that. So it happens, but I mean, not to that consistency. There are numerous occasions, and that's why I said. That's why I hope that one day we can have like a clip section where the market is pulling them up. 'Cause I have multiple moments within this weekend where BDS legit scores off of just awful defense, and you're like, why? There's just no way. Especially at the highest level, you want pure quality, and sometimes EU lacks in terms of that, and BDS is just really good at capitalizing on that. So that's why I don't call them the best team in the world. They don't look like Envy to me. They don't look like NRG. They don't look like SSG. They look like a team who would fight for that top 6 in NA, but they wouldn't win it every time. They might have like a pop-up weekend. Also, there's no rogue in EU either.
You said no rogue?
There's no rogue. There's not a rogue. There's nobody on EU who moves and dominates the game when they're playing that well, like as a first killer. Because there's a lot of mechanical people like Jorius, Astral, and they'll spin, they'll flip reset, they'll highlight their way all the way to the victory. But if they can, but that's if you give them the space. In reality, when it comes down to is speed, aggression, demos. I'm in your face doing your boost, and I will hit the ball as hard as possible at you, and you will have to react to it. And as the first killer, and I don't see anybody in EU that really plays like that. Monkey Move kind of plays like that sometimes, but not to that degree. And I think that's another thing that favors BDS in the long run.
I am going to be interested to see like a team when they end up playing against BDS, or like a strong defensive team or maybe an NA team, like how BDS kind of handles that. I haven't necessarily gotten the time to really just like break down how they move up the field. It could just be based off. I don't think it's just based off pure consistency because they don't seem like a boring team. Like if you think about Veloce, when they were on, they just seemed like they were very boring, but they were consistent. So that's how they got to Worlds. But I don't think that BDS is that level. I think that they have, or like at least when they were coming up, especially they had those players just like Monkey Moon or Mark Bay who were making some of these like highlight plays. I don't think Extra necessarily is that type of player. I think Extra definitely like just kind of facilitates.
He just fills in.
Yeah, and does what he has to do. I think it just makes a well-rounded team. But I think that it kind of leads us into the next thing we wanted to talk about, at least from Europe. We talk about, like, for example, T-Bates is very hard on you. Everything's NA is like the better region. I think a lot of us kind of think that as well. But from people who have that perspective, the question's posed: if you wanted to see Europe as a whole step up, or what would you want to see from them in the spring split? And I want to hear something more than just beat BDS, or is it just beat BDS?
I mean that's the case. That's case in point right there. Like we argue about who the best team in the world is, and the only reason BDS is in this argument is because they're winning everything. They can't be stopped. And despite the minute mistakes that Europe is making, they're still winning. So like you can't argue against their wins. You just they have to be beat. And that's what we need to see spring split. They just have to be beat at this point. I want to see it. I want to see. I don't think any team's gonna make a roster move because I think it is stupid to make a roster move this late. But teams got to make adjustments now. Like there has to be enough tape on this team that someone has to make a game plan. Like maybe target demo somebody. Like just you got to try something else, right? Because what you're doing right now isn't working. So, what do you think, T-Base?
I don't know. Beat BDS. I want to see teams really push them because like Vitality brought them 7 twice, but it never felt like Vitality was gonna win. Okay, Vitality always mess up randomly, and it's not forcing the best out of BDS because BDS just capitalizes on those mistakes. So I want to see teams push them. I also want to see Jorius. I want to see Astro. I want to see them take that next step. And so really putting themselves consistently into top 15 players in the world conversation where when you play them, I'm gonna have to deal with this player like the first killers of the world. And that makes, and if they took that step, that will make their teams that much better. That's the reason Rogue is so good. Cause you legit when you go onto the field with Rogue, you know you have to do a first killer. You can't avoid him. And when you have that type of prestige, that type of clout onto your game, that makes Tino, that makes Rock's life easier. Cause that opens them up. That gives them more space to work. Especially in the case of Dignitas. Jory you play once, we watch you play. You beat Jack, you beat Khaled, you beat everybody at once. You style on him, you go for double reset, you go left, right, up, down, you do things that I wish I could do, Raul wish you could do, a whole bunch of people wish they could do. But when it comes to threes, Jay pulled it off. So it's time for that young man himself to answer the call and really put himself up to that next tier, that next level. If he could legit control the flow, control the pace of the game, Dignitas wouldn't be able to get stopped. Same with Astro. You got Chaucet on the ground with you, bro. If you control the airways, there's nothing no team can do against you. Because they got to worry about you up in the air, so they can't worry about Chaucet down low. Chaucet power shooting left and right. Farrah cleaning up. And that's two teams right there. And if you could do that, they would legit put so much pressure on all those teams in EU, and you would have pure quality, even with the lack of defense sometimes, because the offense would just be on that level. And so that's what I'm hoping to see out of the spring split. I'm hoping to see those two players especially take that next step into that next round to where they are legit top 15 players in the world, and you have to worry about them every single time they step out there. I feel like sometimes they have little instances where they're switching cars or they're just not confident in what they're doing, so they take a backseat. I don't want to see no backseat. I'm not trying to see LeBron versus the Mavericks. I'm trying to see LeBron versus the Warriors. And I think everybody wants to see that. How we all want to see the best version of everybody out there on the field when we watch Rocket League esport that we love. So that's why I'm going with. I like those two teams especially and those two players. That's what I'm hoping to see. Push yourselves to be the best you can be and get ready for Worlds.
Okay, so it sounds like you're not looking for, okay, yeah, we just beat BDS. It's more like, okay, we just swept BDS type of vibes from them. You want the level to be pushed open so that you don't see mistakes like you saw in the Game 7 pretty much. Teams where like they have to tighten up on how they play overall just because the level of gameplay has been raised. Now, I can see why a lot of people be fans of Dignitas because it kind of seems like they're doing that, right? Dignitas and Oxygen, especially in the major, two teams, and even Guild actually, three teams that I don't think anybody expected to get as far as they got. You know, you're expecting Giants. Okay, maybe Giants are going to compete with BDS. You're expecting Galaxy Racer. Okay, Galaxy Racer. Like, these are teams that have taken series off of BDS who have failed to, some of them failed to even make it to the next day. You know what I mean? So I think that what you're asking for is kind of happening in a way because Itachi Giants, they're not doing so well. Galaxy Racer, Matane, they're not doing so well despite having previous records of success. But I mean, we'll see how everything kind of comes together as, you know, we get ready for this like last split of the season.
What you want to see?
For me?
Yeah, you.
I just want to see some good Rocket League. That's what I want to see.
Oh, that's all you want to see? Some good Rocket League?
Keeping it simple.
Yeah.
Yours is simple, huh?
I need some good Rocket League. I want to see top blokes be a little bit better. Vitality don't seem as scary to me anymore. I would like them to be a little bit scary. You know, I rate day 3 KDOP very highly, so I want to see some day 3 KDOP action. I think
yeah, you did tweet that out, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
You tweeted out, I think day 3 KDOP's out there.
Yeah, he looked.
And then he on good.
Hey, yeah, they got smacked.
And then he on good.
Y'all didn't have to say all that. You could have just said anything else, man.
I just had to bring it up.
All right.
It's first touch.
Can I bring up a point?
Yeah.
T-Base's talking about he wants to see Astro back. Astro, I think a lot of people considered Astro to be a top 3 player at one time in his career, especially when he was on the come up. Like
when he's on Dig.
Yeah, when he was carrying the load basically on Dig. Like he pulled up on Dig and he was everything that you want to see out of him now. And
yeah, so if I've seen it before, I need to see it again.
I don't know if it works that way. I don't know if you can get that level again. Like once you lose like how you were playing before, it's so hard to implement that into a new team, into a new kind of mindset. Maybe he has a different mindset. Maybe his rotations are a little bit different. Maybe he feels like he doesn't have the space anymore. Maybe he's not even practicing mechanics. Like, okay, I cap. He's definitely practicing mechanics. But but I mean, like, still, maybe he's not feeling it in that system that they have in Oxygen.
You know what I hear? A whole bunch of maybes, a whole bunch of excuses. Champions don't make excuses. If you want to win, Cause he tweeted some emo thing saying he's disappointed or something. I
Oh
don't.
yeah, that he wanted to cry. There's a lot of
Yeah,
sad vibes
man,
going on.
that's all about the sad vibes. But if you're a champion, you choke up them. You let them tears hit you that one day. The next day you already got the pill and shovel. You back to work. It's the 8 a.m. It's the 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Playing no games.
You
no
think he's doing
maybes.
that?
I don't know what he doing. He probably if he crying, making a whole bunch of tears, and if you giving him a whole bunch of maybe he not comfortable, maybe he can't do this, maybe he can't do that. I don't hear no maybe. If you don't want to cry, you don't got no maybe. You gotta go out there and perform, and I know he can do it. We all seen it.
Yeah,
that's why he rocking that RCS Season 9 EU champion tag.
Bro, if he crying, he definitely not doing it.
Then
I don't know why you crying. Why you crying? You get mad. You gotta get mad, bro. You don't cry, bro.
Hey, sometimes you get the mad tears, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get the mad tears. I know I'm mad cried before. Ain't nothing wrong with mad crying.
Okay, mad crying. All right, you get that mad that you start tearing up a little bit. Okay, I get that. But if you just crying, bro, like I don't know. Astro, you need tighten up, Astro.
I mean, or maybe he has legit been put in the work, and it's like you said, he just can't reach that level again. Cause once you lose it, he just can't
and it might
attain
be
it
frustrating
again.
too.
Maybe that's frustration coming out that he can't reach that level. So maybe it's like that.
Yeah, I mean, you try.
So now I'm hearing T-Bay say a bunch of maybes. I don't want to hear T-Bay. No maybes.
No, there's no maybe. No, I'm saying maybe all your maybes are right. That's a whole bunch of maybes. Get the maybes out of here. Nah, F all the maybes. Just go out there and perform. That's all I'm saying.
Wonder Mike, thank you so much for the 310 viewer Ray. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Big Mikal, baby. What up with you?
Wondrous Michael.
Thank you guys. Welcome to First Touch. We're talking about Europe right now and people crying. Speaking of which, K-Dub actually looked like when he lost that first series on BDS. I made a tweet about it too. It looked like it hurt him so much. He was sitting there because they got the face cams on. They go to the face cams. He was sitting there like head right here, bro. It looked like he was really fighting some tears right there. But they ended up coming back. And went into that lower bracket, and then they tried again. I think that's really
the first one, or was the second one?
The first one he did that. The second time it was more of Alpha. After the goal was scored, Alpha just hit the biggest face palm. But the first time they lost in Game 7, it was K-Dub. I think for that whole team, I
think they have a mental block.
I just don't think they like losing to BDS at all. I think they lose to BDS so much that like they're in their head.
Like, yeah, I think they have a mental block against them. Cause I just don't. I'm not a BDS believer. I'm just not believing. Vitality, they played BDS 3 times in the past 3-4 weeks. 2 times they have been up 3-1 against them. 2. So you just gotta finish the series, and when you can't finish the series like that, especially at this level, it's definitely mental. You just don't believe that you could beat them. You just believe that something's gonna go wrong to the point where they're gonna win.
And then they do.
So I think it's just a mental block. I think Vitality is better than them. But BDS, they just wait for Vitality to start messing up, which eventually starts happening at some point in the series.
You think it's like a slippery slope from there?
I think it's a slippery slope the moment they start winning, Vitality, that is. The moment they get up, they know they have to finish it, and they're not confident in finishing it. And that's why you see K-Dub and Alpha's expressions afterwards, because especially K-Dub, he a champion. What you gotta cry about? You lose, you lose. You go down and lose. I'm gonna come back. But like it's like and meant to like, we really can't beat these dudes. And like once it's in there, once it's set in stone, that's a problem. So they gonna have to go to the psychiatrist about that or something. Get that fixed up.
Now you got me wanting to look at the stats.
BDS is breaking Vitality and K-Dub.
All right.
You can bring up the stats. The stats ain't gonna show the stats ain't gonna bring up the stats once Vitality's up 3-1. Bring up those numbers. Give me the advanced numbers. I don't care about games 1 through 4. Cause games 1 through 4.
Well, okay.
Yeah, well, you gotta compare them.
First things first.
You can compare them. Yeah.
I want to bring up the matchups here, to be honest, to see the. Okay. Well, they really,
BDS owns them.
Yeah.
BDS owns them.
It's pretty bad.
BDS is like 15-1 against them. Something like that. 15-4. It's bad.
Okay, so
in like shots.
If we talk,
and like total.
If we talk about from Fall Regional 3, actually, do I have all of the results?
Go for Fall Regional 1, because it's bad.
Fall Regional 1, let's see. Yeah, they didn't really start beating them until actual Fall Regional 1 was when they first started beating them. Vitality was winning everything against them, including Grid and Spring Series, and then Fall Regional 1 happened. That was the start. 2, 3, 4. Good lord.
It gets out of hand.
Okay, so that's like 12 series that BDS has won since fall. And Vitality won.
I don't even think you need to count anymore.
4. Vitality won 4, and BDS won
Since
12.
fall?
Yeah.
So it's been 16 matchups.
Like at the start of fall, yeah, there were 16 matchups. Vitality won 4, BDS is won 12.
12.
Yeah, they own them.
12. Nah, that yeah.
They own
Bless
them.
you.
Thank
If
you.
there's any, if you want to call anything rent free, that's it right there.
That's bad.
In their head, rent free, bro. They go up against BDS. They start going up in games, and they're like, "We can do it. We got them." And then
the moment that game 5 don't go in their way, then all of a sudden they
Yep.
start going downhill again.
Like,
Like, oh snap, here
Yeah,
it comes.
oh, no.
Here's something that's interesting. Last 3 times Vitality and BDS have played, it's gone to game 7, and Vitality's lost every time. So
That's right.
There was 2
Two
in
of
the
those 3
major,
times.
and 1 in the fall
Grid.
grid for the winter grid playoffs.
Winter grid. Mm-hmm. And two of those 3 series, Vitality's been up 3-1, and they've lost.
for someone that you think we would see ice from, like Fairy Peak and K-Dot, 2 like hardcore veterans at this point, people who've been playing the game since the beginning. I feel like they shouldn't. Like
They shouldn't be losing that.
Yeah, they should not be like a series where you go up 3-1 and you can't close it out at this point. I don't know what's going on with them mentally.
Like, finish the job. Finish the job. Just show BDS that you own them. It's all about the comparative minimum, but they'll figure it out. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Let's add
Not
a
too
couple
sure.
more maybes.
Yeah, right. Okay, so we talked about, BDS being the best team in the world, what we want to see from Europe in spring. We kind of talked about K-Dot and Vitality's performance, how they were good but not good enough. I wanted to talk about an old question, which I kind of think we got the answer to, so we can kind of keep it short here. We asked this last week when we had Stumpy and Cole from Subpar on the show, but pretty much it was like, how do we feel about the strength of Europe compared to the rest of the world? I guess the question that we're revisiting is, do you guys... has your opinion changed based on what you saw over the weekend?
Well,
Opinion changed.
depending on, or the question being like Europe,
Like where you stand with Europe in terms of like how where you think they are from what you said last week to like compared to the rest of the world. So like
Talking
I
about
think
overall depth.
right. So when we had that conversation with Cole Stubby about like how good we thought Europe was, and
Oh. See that. I mean, my opinion doesn't change. When I bring up like what I was talking to Cole and Stumpy about when they were on here, is I'm really focused on the top 6 spots. They were really more focused on the overall depth from like 1 to like 20. I don't personally think that matters, just because you have one team that can like a Team KSO randomly pop off and make it all the way to the finals in EU. That's fantastic. That's good for the 10 to 20 range of EU, but that's not good for the tops half, because that just means that none of y'all are that superb. In NA, that would never happen, which just shows the strength that NA has up top. I don't believe that's changed per se, but I do believe that EU strength up top is starting to get a little bit better. As I said, Dignitas and Oxygen will eventually crack both be in that top 6, and once they get in the top 6, then EU will have a legit 6 teams come Worlds that can compete with NA, which is something that I don't believe could have been said 2 or 3 months ago. So my opinion is still consistent. I still believe that NA is just stronger top 6 wise. EU might have a little bit more depth at the latter ends, latter edges of the RLCS, but for the most part, NA is still better. But EU's also getting really solid, and I hope that these teams in EU, Dignitas, Oxygen especially, Galaxy Racer, Singularity, they all really start beating up on each other and fighting for that 56 spot. So come Worlds, EU will have a legit 6 teams, something that I already know NA will have.
Roll.
yeah, I think for the most part I do agree with T-Biz. And NA is definitely top heavy and a lot more consistent at the top level than EU is. The only team that's being super consistent for the longest time is being BDS. Obviously, you have that Vitality starting to shoot up, and Dignitas is only getting better from here on out. I don't know about Oxygen. On T-Base's point, we're gonna have to see if Oxygen can pull up and start to improve, because what they're doing right now obviously isn't working. I know the series was close that they just played and they lost in
6.
what?
They lost in 6 to Guild.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and Guild, what do you think about Guild's performance, T-Base? You think they were just popping off, or?
Yeah, Gil played better than my expectations. I didn't think they'd make it that far. I'm a little proud of Gil. Devo throwing Noli out there balling. I see him, but I mean, it's a little bit more than expected. I put him in like the 8th range. I don't think they're a top 16. They could prove me wrong, of course, but like I said, I just believe Oxygen's the better team. I watched the gameplay. You watch the series. Gil won it this time, but if you run that series back 10 times, Oxygen's gonna win it 8 out of 10. It's just there's no way you can win off of people overcommitting or just the net being wide open all the time, or crossbar downs that don't go in and it pinches off your post and go and literally rolls to other team's net. It doesn't happen that often. So I mean, that's just the way I feel. But
Yeah,
they play well.
If we get back to the main point, DeMar, my answer is just like NA's will dominate Worlds, and I'm gonna stand by that statement.
Whoa,
That's all you need to know.
I haven't even gone that far. That's a little out there. Dominate, and they will dominate them.
There will be 2 teams that compete at EU.
Okay.
Just 2.
Oh, he said 2.
Vitality and BDS, I'm assuming.
Perhaps. Nope. Oh.
BDS and Dig.
Yup.
Okay, that's the only 2. And what's compete mean? As in they'll finish top 6, or they're just gonna compete and try for top 8.
I got them in top 6.
So you got okay.
I got one of them in top 6.
So you know that bracket gonna be framed in some way or another, where some EU team go.
Some EU teams are gonna make it, bro. EU teams will make it far.
Yeah, you know they're gonna frame it to where somehow some way EU will make it far, no matter what it is. So you only got two EU teams competing come Worlds. Oof, that's rough. Oof, man, I ain't go that far.
Hey, we'll see who's never wrong. Hold on, T-Base.
I ain't know. I might join you by the time Worlds come around, but for now, I ain't gonna join you on that, bro. That's a little out there. That's a little out there. See, me, I tread lightly, and I don't know about that. The Baron, what you got to say about this?
I think that Europe is going to, I'd probably say they'd be a little bit more competitive. I think top 3 in EU will be pretty competitive at Worlds, to be honest. I've always felt top 3 in EU has been pretty solid. I also think that we have a lot of new people in chat, and if you are new in chat and you guys are asking a lot of questions on a lot of opinions because maybe you missed an episode or 2, boom, in the chat right now we have a Spotify link with all of the previous First Touch episodes, and you can check that out on your own with the audio only, or if you want to see our face, you can check on YouTube as well. Sorry, I had to get that plug in. Now, moving on though, I think.
Oh, and follow Dazarin on Twitter, so you know when we are going to go live. He tweets it out every single time. Yeah, so make sure you drop the Dazarin a follow, especially out of us 3. Drop him a follow.
Appreciate that. Look at the plugs.
DeMar said, "Yeah."
Look at the plugs.
Oh, and follow him on YouTube as well. He posts.
Yeah, I need subs on YouTube. But. Okay, so I think, we've kind of spoken on Europe enough. I think at this point, we just kind of wait for the spring season or spring split, to start up before we can really get more in depth on things that we want to see for brackets. Now, let's talk about this week, because this week is definitely a big week. Right now, Astro's going on, Astro Star Circuit Cup, something. There's, I don't know the number anymore. That's going on right now. That being said, also, what's happening at the end of the week is the North American Major. Now, this is something that we're going to talk about we're just going to talk about all week. We're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about it in our Wednesday show. That'll be on Wednesday, same time as this time. And we'll go a little bit more in depth. But if there's anybody who can break down NA Rocket League, it's definitely us 3 here. Now, with the Major coming on this weekend, is there any team in particular that you personally want to have a standout performance in this bracket? I guess, last week we had Dignitas, kind of, right? Everybody kind of was like, okay, we want Dignitas to, have a really strong run, dude. What's your NA team this week?
If I'm not putting my team up there to want to have that run, you know what I'm saying? I got to put Rogue. I want Rogue to repeat.
Loves Rogue. He loves him.
I got first killer. He's just,
He
He's
loves First
dominant.
Killer. He
He's
loves Tino, and he
dominating.
loves Rock. He love them
Yes,
all. He love
sir.
them all. Man, Rogue.
I gotta put Rogue up there.
Well, well, I think we all know where the pearls are gonna go here. Team White. I'm picking the only team on here that has the white emblem as well, and we all know what team that is. So I want to see G2 perform. I'm gonna keep picking them till they perform.
Not again, bro.
I'm gonna keep picking them until they perform.
There's a Reddit thread right now on the esports sub that was talking about if G2 has a bad major, do they make a roster change? They're going through the whole speculation right now on G2 right now. So you think they're gonna have a good run, or do you want them? You want them to have a good run?
I want them to have a good run because I just need it out of them. I need to see something out of my boys from G2 Esports. I'm tired of seeing them lose. This is my favorite team to watch play Rocket League. I don't know. It's something about. They're just exciting to grab. When you watch them, your eyes naturally gravitate to the way they play, how fast they're playing. It's very exciting. It's very high flying. It's very offensive, and then you got to give credence to that type of play. When you watch a lot of these teams, SSG and Envy especially, there's a lot of defense being played from these two teams, and they're good at it. They're very good at it. They're very good at capitalizing. And they both have good offense, especially Envy. They might have the best midfield offense in the world in terms of just, being consistent. What y'all laughing? I don't know what y'all laughing at, but keep on going.
Bro. The way the mic makes his voice sound so crisp, bro. You heard the whole thing, bro. They're very good at it.
That's the pain coming out of me, because I gotta acknowledge how good Envy is. And you know what? I love Nick Costello. I love him like a brother. But at the end of the day, I want to see Reed Weiland win. I want to see Jacob Knapman win, I believe. And I want to see Rizzo win. And so, I don't know. So I just love the way they play. I love the offense. And I just wish they would stop allowing silly counterattacks, or if they would just hit their shots on the crossbar. I was playing ranked a couple days with Chicago, and I was getting on them, telling me, you got to make these on the crossbar, you're going to perform in the major. So, and he knows he got to show up and perform. And that's why I want to win the most out of everybody here. I've seen all the other teams win. Well, the top four, that is. Raul, I would love to see you win too, but maybe not right now. At the moment, I'm going to go G2. That's just the way we're going to stand.
Yo, all I got to say, teammates, is you remember the last time you told Reed to perform? What happened? Let me know.
They choked the 2-0 lead versus Rogue, and then all went downhill.
Yeah, that's all I need to hear.
Hey, according to Reed, according to Chicago, he said that was the worst performance G2 has ever played. So if that's the worst, there's only up from here. We all know that. Once you're at the bottom, you can only go back up. And I believe that come the major, G2 will perform, and they will be back up there in the top 4 discussion. And we know that to be true. DeMar, take it away.
Man, we hold on. Before DeMar go, we already know Reed said that to close your big mouth, bro. We already know. He said, T-Base, stop putting expectations on me. Please. I don't need your loud mouth talking on
As long as he wearing that G2 and got the G2 on the back, I'm going to put expectations on him. So Reed Weiland, if you're watching right now, just know that the expectation will be there. As long as you're on G2. I don't care whether you say y'all are playing great or not. I will expect y'all to perform. And that's just how we're going. All right, there we go, DeMar. Take it away.
Go ahead, DeMar.
Man, I don't even remember the question, man. Okay.
What team do you want to play well? You want to see them succeed?
Man. Okay, teams that I want to see succeed.
You can only pick one. You can't pick multiple.
Okay. I think for me, it's this is tough. I just thought about it. It's a lot of.
I feel like I know who you have to say.
I'm gonna say the Machine personally.
Oh, okay. That's not what I was expecting.
The team I was debating on was between the Machine and SSG.
Why SSG?
Because I don't know. It just feels like they haven't been doing as well recently. Like for me, I just think that for SSG, there was a time in fall where they were, the BDS at NA, where they were just winning everything and beating everyone, and it just didn't seem like no one could stop them. And then they started losing, and then it's been kind of up and down, so to speak. And I feel like for them, seeing them kind of get back up to, the top spot is like, something that I feel is pretty important. Let me think. So in Regional 3, they were in third place. They lost to NRG. The last thing they won was Rocket League Summit, which I don't think anyone really pays attention to. And they took, I believe in the last grid, they took third overall, but took second. They lost to G2. And both those series were 1-4s, where they only won a game to. And it just seems like they start to struggle when it comes to, like teams in that top 5 category. Whereas earlier on, they used to be very dominant. And I think I want to see them do well because I want to see them kind of have that confidence overall as a team. They're actually trying really hard, too. I think they're all in a team house right now for this major.
Think?
Yep.
Well, okay, I know they're in a team house for the major. Okay, I know they're in a team house.
There you go.
So we'll see if that has any effect. I think it's, what is it, Chrome, Sypical. I mean, the whole team. Chrome, Sypical, Retals, Arsenal, they're all together in a team house. They all sit next to each other. So we're going to see that dynamic on display while things go on. So that'll be very interesting. But I think overall, though, I need to see the machine back on top. I just want a team to be dominant in North America again. You know what I mean? To have a true competitor against BDS where I could just say, okay, I expect this team to be the best, to show up and really represent the region. I think Envy is that team, but they've been a little inconsistent too. So I'm not really. That's why I want them to do well.
It's hard. It's hard to call a team in NA like inconsistent because it's not. Like we're so top heavy.
There's so many teams at the top.
That's what I think. That's what I mean too when I say inconsistent. Like, obviously, quite literally, the definition inconsistent. You know what I mean? Like they're not obviously consistently number one, but I'm not saying that they're bad either. You know, it's not like Envy aren't going to top. Actually, to be honest, I don't expect any top 5 team in NA to have the same type of performance as the top 5 teams in Europe did in the major. Where we see a team like Giants who's sitting, I believe they're 3rd overall, the 3rd or 4th, they're 4th overall, not make it to day 2, pretty much almost did they get first rounded? They got first rounded pretty much. They got a bye, lost, dropped down to lower round 1 and then lost there. I don't expect any team in the top 5 of NA to do that at all.
In the top 5. So NRG, Space Station, Envy, Rogue, and G2, top 5?
Yeah. I just don't expect that to happen. Like, I think everyone I guess the only team that is at the most danger of doing that is G2. But
it'd be Rogue.
I don't see Rogue getting first rounded.
I mean, they're already in the second round, but it'd be Rogue versus Peeps.
Okay, but then if they go to, let's say they lose there, right? So the loser of quarterfinal match 1 goes to face the loser of winners round match 3. So they play the loser of PK and Sonics.
No. That's the loser of quarterfinal match 4.
Oh yeah, you're right, 4. So then they play the loser of G2 Ghosts.
Hey, I got some bad news to break down to you boys.
What?
SSG or G2, well, if G2 wins against Ghosts, that is, will get knocked down first round.
Right.
Well, technically, winner's quarter is not first round, but
okay. So the only way this is like my hypothetical. The only way I see G2 getting knocked out is if they go to lowers and for some reason Peeps lost to Alpine. That's like the only way. And Peeps will beat. Well, Peeps have a high chance of beating G2 there, but that's the only way I see anybody really dropping out. Jeez, this bracket is tight.
It is tight.
Now I'm looking at it.
Yeah, NA's top 10 is better than EU's top 10. That's just how it goes.
All right, dude.
EU's like 12 to 20 is better, which is good for EU. But it don't matter.
It don't matter.
Okay.
Nobody cares about 12 to 20.
Well, we won't go over every single matchup today, but I do want to talk about the first one, especially because I don't think we talk about these teams that much. We did something last regional with G2 Rogue. When we said who needs to win more, I want to do that again with version 1 versus KC Pioneers. The winner plays NRG in the quarterfinals afterwards. But compared to these two and the two head-to-heads, I feel like these two are kind of on a level playing field. That being said, in the standings overall, they're in 2 completely different spots. KCP sitting at 7th, only 90 points off of Peeps for 6th. And I believe version 1 is all the way at 16th. So for me, obviously, I think V1 definitely wants to win that. But KCP also, trying to fight to be a top 6 team in Worlds. There's some importance in that matchup as well. But what do you guys think?
Well,
yeah, go ahead, T-Biz.
well, originally, like about a month ago now. Sheesh, been doing a show for a month. I picked V1 as my team to finally start performing and maybe make that dream push for a world spot. It would have to be a dream. They would have to win a lot starting this weekend, but it's kind of out there. KCP, on the other hand, no, they're on the outside looking in. I think they're currently sat at 7th after dropping out, and they could easily make amends for that and push themselves right back into that top 6. And I think it falls down to what type of work you're putting in, what type of dedication you're putting into your craft. And you can look at Astro at the moment, for example. I know V1's not playing in Astro. KCP is though. So, and people can debate whether scrims against good teams or playing against high level bubble teams is better in a competitive field. But you can debate about it all day. I believe that playing in a competitive matchup is better because you're really gonna push yourself to limits because you don't want to lose that scrims. You're gonna mess around a little bit, no matter who it is, unless you got really true professionals out there and you're playing like Envy for the first time in scrimmage, you're gonna go all out. But in saying that, KCP is putting in the work right now, while V1 is probably playing ranked or something. And I believe that matters come this weekend. It matters about how fresh you are and when's the most recent time you've played as a 3 team in a competitive setting. KCP is going to be more recent. They're going to have more time put in. So I believe that KCP is going to win that series. And are these all best of 7s?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I just think KCP's going to win. I think it's going to go all the way, but I think it just comes down to the time you're putting as a team, and especially the week of. I'm surprised more of these teams aren't playing in this just to get the reps in. Like SSG, why aren't you playing and you're on the same house together? Why not playing it? Just to get the reps in. I think that matters, and KCP's putting in the time. So,
well, some people got stuff to do. You know what I mean? I think I know Arsenal is definitely looking for stuff. Yeah, some people gotta do a talk show. So.
That's why Raul isn't playing. Oh, I mean, see, that's different. He's got a job to do. Ain't nothing wrong with that. T-Shaw ain't doing nothing wrong with that. Besides, probably trying to figure out a way to Uber eat something.
That's facts.
We're trying to figure out a way to somehow fake benching 210 so he can post it in group message.
Why you gotta expose him like that, bro?
So they all professionals. They all scrim around this time anyway. So you probably ain't doing nothing. Put yourself in there. Get the reps in. I like how KCP put in that time. I always value consistency and work ethic. And KCP being in that, V1 not being in that, I think that's gonna matter come this weekend. It's gonna show this weekend. I got KCP winning.
What do you think, Ro?
I think the obvious answer is V1 needs the win, right? Because they're so far down in the standings.
You don't think KCP needs to win?
I think they both need to win. I think V1 needs it more just to get caught up a little bit. But KCP being right outside in that 7th place position, they definitely need the importance of this victory. The importance of a great run at this major is high for that roster. So I think KCP is putting in the work right now that they need to, and they're taking this extremely serious, a lot more serious than a decent amount of other teams. They're kind of treating this a little lackluster. Maybe not as lackluster as T-Bates making it out to be, not participating in Astro. But I see the point. Get the experience where you can, and that Astro is definitely a great experience for your roster, just playing together and bonding and whatnot. But yeah, I also got KCP taking this just off the fact that they are grinding a lot more recently. I think they've seen a decline in their gameplay and they're not happy about it. So that's probably why they're pushing so hard now.
Looking at previous matchups, last time they played, it was a 3-1 KCP, but the results seemed to favor overtime V1 a little bit more. Definitely a couple 5-game sets. Let me see. So they won in Winter Grid 4 playoffs, KCP 3-1, V1. Then it was a sweep back in Winter Grid 2. Obviously, I think that it's pretty safe to say after the break, it just seemed like a lot of things changed. So that's kind of where I have like an imaginary cutoff line is between regional 2, I believe, and regional 3. I think that's right. Regional 2 and 3.
You're talking about where's that fat break?
Yeah, pretty much. Okay.
During Christmas.
I think pretty much basically Rocket League Summit 2 is the cutoff. Like after
Rocket League Summit 2.
Yeah, it was like the last event of the year, like in December.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you.
So like everything was different after that event. And I think that looking at this now, you kind of have to go with like the kind of trend here, but I want to look at regional 3 real quick just to kind of see the length here. Just compare overall matchups. KCP had a pretty abysmal
regional
3. Yeah. They lost to Seoul first round. They dropped the second round, went 5 games to get 72 PC, and then they got swept by XSET. Meanwhile, V1 beat Seoul after they beat KCP, and then they lost to the Machine, dropped down, and then they lost to Peeps in 4. So overall, I feel like there's a standard here. Maybe V1 isn't. You're right. V1 isn't playing in Astro right now, but maybe V1 doesn't need to. I can totally understand KCP playing in Astro now. Now that we see the results of them losing to bubble teams, pretty much that are just qualifying via regionals. You got a major coming up. Sure, they were able to make it into the tiebreaker with a win against Ghost, but you definitely want to see them do a little bit more. Oh, that's my bad. D-Rex sent me a thing on Discord, and I don't know. I had a instance to click it. D-Rex, I'm gonna open it up in a sec here. But yeah, I think that in terms of like who needs to win more, honestly, part of me just wants to say KCP, just because I feel like they were a team that did so well and
off
rip, and then next thing you know, like they're falling apart. And I think a win here kind of just like boosts so much for the team overall. I think V1, but it's a close conversation just from the simple fact that V1 are so low. Keep in mind, V1, the only reason they are even here in the first place is through grid wild card qualifier going down. I mean, that scenario, it went between all these different teams down into V1. To be honest, V1 are very lucky. So I think that it's a close conversation. But I think in terms of the overall situation at hand, I give KCP the edge in the matchup. But I also think that this is one that they can't lose at the same time. It just has more impact on that team.
Yeah, I believe KCP needs to win more. Like I said, I would love to see V1 succeed, but they're just so far out of there right now.
Ooh, okay.
In terms of points, they have a long way to go. They like, for example, 6th in NA is 1240. V1 currently has 420. That is a massive climb they have to make. Well, KCP on the other hand, sitting at 1150. KCP loses out first round. They're out of there. I don't know how many points to get for that, but now you're opening up now you're opening up a Pandora's box. Alpine, PK,
right?
PK and Sonics could very easily all pass you up or get very close to your points, and then you have less cushion against those teams. You want to have as much cushion as possible on those 3 specific teams if you're KCP, while also staying in contention with the top 6. You don't want to fall into that barrel, that cluster down there, because once you do, you might not be able to get out. Everybody's so tight in that area. So, and just offer prestige and morale for the team as well. You want to show that regional split 1 wasn't a fluke. The beginning of this split 2 was just an anomaly as well. You weren't playing as well. You weren't putting in the time. Now you're putting in the time again. You want to put yourself into that top 8 at minimum, but definitely top 6 conversation. So KCP, in my opinion, and from my view, needs to win more than V1 does.
Okay. Real quick, you guys check Discord. We do have D-Rec hit us up with the stats. He says he doesn't have the player stats yet, but he does have the team stats going into the major. These are the head-to-head stats here. And then it lets you know pretty much everything from the head-to-head. So pretty much in the last 3 series, it looks like V1 has won, and this is without any swaps, and or this is like before V1 brought Calm on. But you can see like the little difference there, where you see the 3-2, the 3-0, and the 3-1. Everything else in bold was when V1 was Rockin' Eggs Be Gimmick Tournament. But looking at this, though, it does seem like ever since Comms got on the roster, KCP haven't necessarily been able to beat V1.
Sheesh. Yeah.
And are y'all's numbers popping up? Mine says like error.
I
Like
have no numbers for
Beast Mode, Memory,
KCP.
Rapid.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I just told you. Those stats aren't applied yet.
They aren't applied yet. Okay.
Right. This is you were.
So we're just looking. We're looking at the left columns, the series,
Yes.
the 42.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, yeah, and V1's just won every single time since.
Mm-hmm.
And the stars notate, the Astros notates AXP being on the team.
Yeah.
Yep.
So with Calm, they just haven't
Calm,
lost
they
to
just
them.
beat them.
Yeah, they haven't lost to them. Oh, I mean, this just puts even more of importance in KCP needing this victory.
Yeah, needing to win.
Yeah.
Because KCP has to show that they are better than V1. I
Yeah.
personally believe that V1 are better than KCP as a team. But V1's chances of making worlds are so outlandish now due to their first split, that KCP just is going to need this victory, and that is why. And I think they know that. I think JG coaches them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
KCP.
JG knows that, and I think the organization knows that. That's why you see them playing in the Astronaut, because they know they have to put in the time, the extra reps, anything to get them as fine tuned and ready for the weekend as possible. Because they know that V1 are not a slouch. V1 skill wise is probably a top, not probably, I would say is a top 10 team in NA with the new roster. But points wise they're not. So you're facing a tough team. You're facing a tough out off rip, but you're gonna have to handle your business and you want to make worlds. KCP knows that. So that's why I say they needed more than V1 do. V1 just playing not with house money, but they playing, and that's also dangerous too, because they're playing with nothing really to lose, because they have nothing to lose. I guess they are kind of playing house money in a way. They're so far out there, they can just go for what they want to go for, because they got to put it all in anyway. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be tough for KCP.
I feel like V1 is in the same situation that Liquid's in, where you got an org that comes into the scene, picks up your team, expecting you guys to be like,
top notch,
good, great.
And then next thing you know, like they actually ended up picking a team that's like, okay, we're in the top no, we're not in the top 15, we're 16. So
we're not in the top 15.
I feel like for that, like,
I mean that's just due to roster though. They just picked
the wrong roster.
They picked V1 before they upgraded.
Actually, this does,
because looking at Winter. Why can't I look at Winter North America ranking?
I don't know. I see it.
What is this? I'm trying to pull it up. Winter.
You want me to send you a link?
NA Winter. There we go. I'm here. Right. Yeah, version 1 they were the 9th best team.
There's like a 5 or 6 way tie for 9th.
Oh wait, I see it. You're right.
Yeah. So technically, they're like 13.
Jeez.
Yeah, they're about 9th, 13th range. And when in the fall, they were the 18th worst team. So I mean, they have improved. That's a good topic we should talk about. What convinces some of these orgs to come in and
okay,
take some of these teams? Because I've never commented on that Liquid thing.
Okay, true, and we will get to that too. I want to actually save the Liquid thing for next time we have something from Europe to come up, because I think that'd be a big point to kind of, or if we ever just get some more time too. But I want to talk about Charlotte Phoenix, because what they ended up doing was they dropped their previous roster, and then they picked up Loco.
A team that has been performing.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. They picked up Loco instead. So now it's gonna. I don't think I've said this out loud yet, or like in public yet, but it's gonna be weird seeing Charlotte Phoenix actually winning for once. But now they picked up a winning roster. I mean, they've been like
shots.
I mean, sure, you could call it shots, but the fact is that organization has been losing for a long time, and it's pretty much like the butt of a joke in terms of like NA, where like if you lose to Charlotte Phoenix, you're getting clowned on. But now I think what ended up happening. So Charlotte Phoenix dropped that roster. That roster dropped Jimmer and Karma. Now it's Alraz, Kinsey, and Shadow, and they're under Stromboli. And now Charlotte Phoenix ends up picking up Logo. Do you think we're going to see more things like that, where teams drop rosters in the middle of the season and pick something up? Or was that just like a one-time incident?
That was an incident. Maybe it's especially the way all CS is done nowadays, configured. It's gonna if an organization comes in, they are going to be 1-year contracts minimum. Wouldn't you agree, Raul? It's
Yep.
not going to be a 6-month, 3-month contract like it used to be. If it was the older days of RLCS where you could sign teams to 6 months deals, there would V1 might have already been dropped already, and say, Peeps would be V1 right now.
Yeah, but that comes down to the contract, though. Anyone
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Clause in the contract saying that they could drop the team whenever they want to.
Yeah, but who should have signed that?
People, players.
Yeah.
Especially from a good team. You think Peeps should sign that? Like for example,
Yeah.
Peeps
Yeah,
will never sign that.
yeah. Do you not remember the situation they were in?
The Peeps?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, when they were younger. They're
a year older.
Two. We're in 2021. That was in 2019.
Man,
You talking
we
about
at the
18?
beginning. We at the beginning of 2021. You acting like that was forever ago.
16-year-olds. You got a lot of you would have to catch a young team point. You would have to get a young team like 15, 16 years of age to get that clause in that contract.
Nah, it don't
Ain't no grown man signing that contract. Cause that's not job security.
It don't work
It's not
that
job
way.
security.
Hey, you gotta perform. Step up.
When you the Peeps and you got your prestige, you ain't forced to sign that contract. Somebody gonna come along and give me that 1-year guaranteed money. I want my 1-year guarantee.
Hey.
And if it ain't 1-year guaranteed, you can go bounce it over to somebody else. I don't need you. And I go ahead.
And maybe that's why they orgless. All right, maybe they looking for that, and that's why they orgless.
Maybe they know their worth, and the org's trying to finesse them. I like that. If that's the reason you orgless, AJ, stay orgless, because you should know your worth.
Man, they gonna go broke. You gonna fight AJ at Walmart or something, bro. You ain't gonna be playing Rocket League no more. Nah, you gotta stream. His stream popping, but you gonna see Alu. You gonna see Alu and Gyro at Walmart, bro.
Alu about to have a college degree. Alu good. I don't know. G-Ro in college too. They know their worth. They grown men.
You gonna kill the Peeps over not signing a contract?
No, I ain't gonna kill them. Just know that. Don't let no org come in here, walk a little fuddly dudley down the line, trying to convince you to sign. Trying to convince you to sign on contract when you ain't got your dollars guaranteed. Make sure you get your money for your worth, and that's just the bottom line. And so that's why I believe that that's just a one-time somewhere somehow. I'm assuming after Charlotte's many mishaps and falters, Charlotte must have had a contract restructure to the point where they had the ability to drop whenever they felt like it in order to pick up somebody. And I just don't believe many of these orgs have that.
Yeah,
at the moment.
That's actually a good point. I heard through the ecosystems that
Your sources.
Yeah, my sources that there's a lot going on with like Charlotte, Phoenix, and like that whole contract thing, which I think was like a thing that was like kind of going on for a while. I think Charlotte, Phoenix, the team, like the players on the team had really strong contracts that were built in their favor, and then like it was a lot of battling with like them in the org and stuff. Now I definitely think that the org now is probably much happier with Loco, because it's a hungry bubble team that's unsigned. They're probably going to sign like anything as long as the price is right, and that's kind of what it is sometimes.
I mean, that's I think that's what a lot of people just look for is
the price,
the consistent paychecks coming in. You grind so hard for that, bro. So that and when people lose it, it's because they stop grinding after they get it, bro. You don't get guaranteed money. You don't ever get guaranteed money. All right, you made it there. Now keep grinding, because you got to stay consistent and you got to keep improving and you got to stay at the level. All right, if you get the bag, if you get the org bag and you stop playing because you're like, all right, I made money, bro, you gonna get dropped. And that's it is what it is. It's a cutthroat business, and at the end of the day, that it is what it is. T-Base, you got to stay on top of it.
Anybody arguing that?
Hey, I'm just saying, but you ain't getting guaranteed. You ain't getting guaranteed money out here.
No, no, that's what I'm talking about. DeMar was asking specifically, are we going to see instances like the Charlotte Phoenixes where a team mid RLCS is going to drop their team that they are currently representing and then pick up a team that is unrepresented? And I was saying, no, I don't believe that, due to the RLCS new ecosystem, the new world, the new format. It's a yearly format, so you're going to see teams sign contracts for a year.
Yeah, but just because they sign a contract for a
clause,
year,
like the Mar was talking about.
That's my point. Like, just because you sign a contract for the year doesn't mean you're going to be on the team for the year.
I mean, true.
That's
but
why,
you see, that's where it comes down to.
the middle
But see,
ground.
the orcs have to go ahead.
I was gonna say the middle ground here is that all you have to do if you have a contract with a clause like that, then have them pay out your salary or like part of your salary when they do something like that. That way, at least like you're gonna get some of the money that you missed out on not having an org, and like you're not just like left stranded.
Like a buyout.
It's not a buyout. Buyouts are when
Not
orgs,
a buyout. The orgs have to pay the org.
Yeah, that's when people want to take a player from an org, then they pay the buyout.
I getting dropped.
Are you talking about like
you get dropped, so you get 10K of your 40K that you
yeah,
would have got if you
like
didn't
that.
get dropped.
Like they get like half the salary or something like that. I've heard.
I mean,
of
that wouldn't be
That's a
bad.
thing.
That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
Get a little bit of bread coming out of
there.
there.
You go. There's your guaranteed money if you want it.
You could just set up a term where it's like, okay, listen, if you guys we sign a 1-year deal, if you drop us before, I don't know, 8 months or something like that, then you got to give us this much money. Like that's totally. I feel like that's totally a thing. It's reasonable.
That's manageable.
And it also builds in trust with the org if they sign it, because then it knows, okay, we're investing in you. You're also investing in us. You want to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that that's something like orgs would be against necessarily, but every org works differently. And I've known that just from even my interactions with them when it comes to like doing broadcasts, like the grid and stuff, everything, like one org will offer me a verified tab. Another org will offer me actual money, like it all depends on what the org is and what their goals are. So I think that you got to play those contract negotiations very well. But that being said, we are a little bit short for time, so I'm going to speed it up. We're going to move on to our final topic of the day, which is top 6 from North America. So last week we saw the top 6 in Europe kind of shift around a little bit based on the results of the major. Do we think the same thing is going to happen in North America?
DeMar, I would love for you to start off this segment for us. You go first this time since the last topic of the night.
Yeah, I don't really get to go first that often. Okay.
You don't. I did a little reverse card on you. There you go. You can hit it. You can start off.
Thank you, Tyler.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
I'm always looking out.
I think that looking at North America and seeing how this bracket looks, especially when we talk about the major and seeing how everybody's sitting. Yeah, I kind of do expect it to kind of mess around a little bit. Yeah, I think the biggest factors there are not the top 4, but the bottom 2 with G2 and the Peeps. I think that's the level of consistency that we've been trying to expect from them points-wise, like a minimum, that they just haven't been reaching. It's not like I'm not expecting Peeps to win, or I'm not expecting G2 to win, but I don't want them to drop out early. And I think Peeps especially have kind of been a little bit in that realm here. All split long, they haven't gotten more than 200 points. Regional 1 was 70. 2 and 3 were 160. Decent runs, but still, and the same thing can be said here for G2, right? G2 got 160 all the way through, and then the last one they got 130, where Peeps eclipsed them there. But they need that level of performance where all over this split, we just haven't necessarily seen that, consistent, 200 or 150 plus performance all throughout the split. Maybe in a couple of regionals in a row, sure, but when it comes down to the major, and we already talked about one series with KCP and V1, there's so much more Rocket League that needs to be played. Alpine is in that bracket too. If they take down the Peeps and get to that rogue match, that's a big deal for them. The same thing for, I believe, even in the PK Sonics matchup overall. And I think we're going to hit on all those on Wednesday, but to kind of keep it short and sweet, I do think that with everything on the line here, as we get ready to get into the spring split, and as the winter split is finally coming to an end, I do expect some shakeups in North America.
Okay, so what's your 6 coming out of this weekend? Who are your top 6? What do the rankings look like for you?
I think KCP makes it further than Peeps, and yeah, I think that's really it, though. To be honest, I think Peeps drop out and KCP swaps with them. I think that, like, especially with like how the points are distributed, that's just like one series difference between those two teams. So yeah.
Okay, so Dazrin's top 6 NA teams in no particular order coming out of this weekend, going into this final split will be Envy, NRG, Space Station, Rogue, G2, and KCP. Alrighty then. Roll.
you know, I'm gonna exclude my team. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna exclude my team so I'm not criticized like crazy. All right.
You
so,
can put your team in if you truly believe that your team can make it that far. You can put them in there. You can put them in there as much as you want to. We will not. We will not critique. Well, you will get critiqued no matter what your list is. So put them in there if you feel like it. Be confident with what you're saying, bro. Don't cap and don't substitute. Don't keep your team out of it just to make it seem like you're unbiased. If you're biased in some way, you're confident. That's fine. So go ahead and put them in there. I know you want to. Put the Sonics in there. Do it.
DeMar, what's he doing right now, bro?
I'm waiting for you to put their team in there because I know you're capping to the whole entire world when you say I want to exclude my team. So put them in there.
DeMar, I'm scared, bro.
Yeah,
Why teammates talking like that?
You know, if you're confident, then put your team in there because we want to see your team in there.
Put your team in there. Why you make them sound like that, bro?
What the heck? I ain't no country bumpkin. I ain't from the backwoods now. Now don't do that to me.
Oh no.
We're gonna start talking country.
No, man, don't make me get the backstrap. Now, listen. Like, I ain't no country
Listen
boy.
here, we're getting ready for the North American Major coming up this weekend now. Where I will,
Yeah, sure. Got my Ford F-150. Just picked her up.
F-150. Okay, I'm about to do some
Got to pick
flippery
up.
resets. Okay, now.
Come on now, get me out there.
All right, can y'all relax? Like, shut up.
See what happens. See what happens when you start capping and you start saying I don't want to substitute my Sonics.
This
There's
is
good Sonics in there, and this never happened. Just put them in there, man.
All right, I got NRG, G2, Space Station, Envy. Gotta put Rogue in there. You know what I'm saying? I got me, my boys.
So time
Coming
out.
out
So
top
you saying that Sonics are gonna jump up? Don't flex with the
Me
string. You
and
can
my
flex
boys.
it. The muscles don't mean anything when y'all on the field, bro. Cause y'all know that. Cause see, you bigger than me, but when we
Yeah,
on the
muscle
field,
memory. Wait,
No.
hold on. Don't put you on the field, T-Base. Chill.
no, when we on the field, who win the
Tibet.
50s? The base man do, and I'm smaller than you in real life. So don't flex for the camera, cause the camera don't. It don't matter what you look like. Win.
Oh, he gonna bring up one instance. He gonna bring
Hey.
up one instance. Look at him. He already smiling.
It's already to bring up. So you know. I don't have to say it, and you know. If you know it, that means
he gonna bring up
that you
one
know.
instance.
I don't need to bring it up. So wait. So time out.
Man.
DeMar.
Hello.
Raul is saying
Yeah.
that the Sonics are gonna gain at minimum
I'm doing the math
500
right now.
points.
Yeah.
530 points, which means that
Wait, they need 530?
minimum.
Sheesh.
That is also just to tie the peeps at 1240. And if I'm looking at the EU major,
Yeah, so pretty much that they
you
have
would
to
need
at
to get
least
second.
Yeah.
Second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second.
Second.
Second is
We got a
600 points.
bubble.
Dude,
Second.
all right, so I'm gonna give you one chance
Oh
to
my
backtrack from that
God.
statement you just made. You can stick
Hold on,
with it
bro.
and
Wait,
really
chill
believe.
out. Chill
Oh.
out, bro. Chill out.
You're that confident with it.
Yeah, I'm not retracting.
Wow.
Okay. I didn't say I was finna catch up to the memes this regional. You gotta give me some time, bro. We still got another split to go.
No, I'm talking about the top six. What we are talking about the top six
Top
teams
six.
in NA
Yeah.
points wise by coming out of this weekend.
Oh, coming out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, bro. What? All right, hold on. Wait. Chill out. All right. let me look at this.
I don't even know what to say
All
right now, bro.
It's not changing.
Okay, it's not
All right,
changing.
looking at top six, it's not changing.
Okay,
Oh,
well, I'm
okay,
assuming.
okay.
Bro,
Okay.
I was so confused, bro. I thought y'all said top six in attorney, bro.
No.
No.
I
Man.
mean, like top 6 world rankings overall.
Okay, yeah. It's not changing.
All right, well, now we know come Wednesday that the Raul will believe that the Sonics are going to finish top 6.
Yeah, I gotta figure out how
That's-
to bracket for the work.
Yeah, the finish. Alrighty then.
Bro, y'all said, well, in order to catch up, you gotta get second place. I'm like, wait. Second place? Sheesh. I'm confident, but second place?
At least it's not delusional, DeMar. That's good. Alrighty then. Since we only have a little bit of time left, I'm gonna go fast. A little blitz for everybody. My top 6 coming out of this weekend will be Envy, NRG, Space Station, G2. Alpine's not playing SSGC. Nobody has to worry about Alpine this weekend. The Peeps, I believe, will beat Rogue, and Rogue will still perform
Wait,
accordingly. So I don't think my top 6 changes. Maybe swap Actually, I don't know. KCP has a chance of taking somebody's spot, but I don't believe it's gonna happen. I believe all of the top 6 will be the final 6 teams standing. If the bracket allows that to be the case, which I think it does. But I'll look into more of that for this weekend, and I might correct myself or clarify my statements come Wednesday. But for now, I don't believe it's gonna change, and that's just the way I'm staying. That's just the way I'm going with it.
Okay, cool. That's everybody. All right, sounds good, dude.
Thanks, dude.
No problem, dude. We do have some extra time, guys. If you guys want to send us some questions, we're looking at the chat right now. You guys can send us some through. But yeah, I think that, you know, coming up for this NA major, like I said, guys, we're gonna do like a pretty full bracket breakdown on Wednesday. But also, again, I said it in the tweet earlier. I said in the tweet before we went live that this is gonna be the last week we do 7 p.m. shows. So you're going to have to fix your sleep schedule, get up a little bit early because we're going to move starting next week to 2 p.m. Central Time. That way,
does Austin watch the show?
Does Austin watch the show? I think he does.
Because you're talking about sleep schedules, then Austin, he's talking to you. You're going to have to start waking up before 6 p.m., bro.
Bro, Austin ain't even up yet, man. Like, why y'all talking, Austin?
I don't know what's going on with Austin, man.
Is Austin really not up right now?
No, he's probably up. He's definitely up.
I hope he's up.
I feel like this is like
that'd be pretty bad if he wasn't up, bro.
Yeah, I feel like this is
that man is not working a 12-hour shift that night, bro. There's no reason for you to be sleeping that late.
Facts. Yes, so when we talk about people having an Austin sleep schedule, what we mean is they wake up at like 7 p.m. and start their day.
They stay up till 10 a.m.
Yep.
And they're not working at a plant or at a hospital at night.
No, they're just
They're just up.
They're just up
for whatever reason. But I don't air no more on that for me.
I'm judging him, man. Let my man's Austin live his life.
I let Austin live. Austin live his life. Austin lives his life. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I gotta say that y'all's mic sound good, but that's just me. Go ahead, Demar.
So one question we have is, do you think Alpine will look for a new third during the transfer window? Keep in mind we have like 4 minutes left here, so keep it pretty short.
I will say yes. They might try out one to Mike per chance, depending on how this major goes. Bro,
I think that they will try someone out. It's not a guaranteed switch. Yeah, so I guess they will look. Technical terms. Go ahead, Demar.
I think I feel like I kind of want them to look, but I think that they aren't going to. From what I've heard, I think the org really wants to like work with the players, and I feel like if they were to make a change, they probably should have made it already. To be honest, like a long time ago. So I think that they'll probably like stick with the team as like they're okay, but they're not great, and see if they can like work out the kinks as a unit overall.
Fair enough.
So that's where I stand on that. And I think, yeah, at this point, I think it's just kind of safe to close things out. Thank you guys so much again for watching First Touch. This was a pretty cool episode. I had a lot of fun today. We're gonna be back on Wednesday again to just break down a little bit more of the North American major and kind of give you guys some things too to also look forward to while things lead up to that. So keep in mind, we're going to go a little bit more in depth on NA come Wednesday. But thank you guys so much for watching this week. It actually has been a lot of fun again. It's cool seeing everybody in chat show up and show out. And if you missed it or came in late, it's going to be on YouTube and Spotify within the next day or so. So just be on the lookout for that. You guys see all of our Twitters at the bottom. Again, boys, how are you guys feeling on today?
It's always a good time, man. Always a good time.
We all got the chains on. We got the new mics on. Maybe get a little new cam set up for me and Raul, so we matching them all with that 4K action maybe one day. And you know how we come. We be getting it right over here in the First Touch.
Yeah, we need to see them pearly whites in 4K.
Oh, you don't want to see those
blinding
now.
us.
You don't want to see those now. You got the darken your screen. Oh my God, they don't play. Cause you gotta show them all, baby. Look at these things. My God, hey. I get all y'all in chat on once I get sponsored by my product people.
Okay, well, until then, thank you guys for joining us. This has been First Touch. We are out. We'll see you guys Wednesday. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Later, y'all.